What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36, and this is two in one day, two in a matter of hours. Big Games B.S. Part of Den Media Group, presented by AlphaClinicOnline.com. AlphaClinicOnline.com is where you should go to if you are having issues with where 17 to 18 to 19-year-old boys decide that they want to go spend the next 4 years of their life for the time being, because none of this shit is cemented or in stone, but it's still a cool thing. Again, I always tell people just chillax and just vibe. But hopefully you guys caught. We had a lot of people. We didn't have over quite 1,000. We had about close to 6. Everybody's on fucking Twitter. And Bordeaux is a YouTuber.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. But I did find out what we did wrong with IG. So what happens is with IG, you have to put the stream key in, and then it gives you like a little thing. And then once we go live on this, it'll show a picture of what we're live on, and then you push go live on Instagram.
Oh,
so you can't close it. Like you have to have the one that you open it up with has to be open. So, so that's why. So I don't think we'll be. I don't really like IG like that anyway. It doesn't even save it, so it's pretty stupid. IG is for the reels.
Yeah, I don't know if we even have an audience.
Nah, we have the reels audience.
Oh, that's true.
They love that shit like that. Y'all, they are loving. I gotta find. If you guys ever do me a favor, because there's a couple things that I need you guys to do. I need an MFTK of the day, right? So give me an MFTK thing. Oh, did you send the thing to the video to Katie?
I emailed her. I told her I was gonna cut it up because it didn't come. Something messed up in the audio, so I'm cutting it up. But I told her if she wants to send me hers, I can fix her audio.
Did she record it with her phone?
Yeah, she did it also.
Okay. Okay, my bad. That completely threw my fire. I need an MFTK of the day. Not an R. Kelly version, but just something where kids pissing you off. I need my hymns. Like I get every now and then, people send me some real good violence. It doesn't have to be a football tackle. It could be football. It could be a knockout. It could be all of that stuff right there. And then something else I was just thinking about. So we got that MFTK. What was I thinking? It was something that was very unique to me that I needed. But anyways, send me some random. Send me the cool shit so I could talk about it. Outside of that, but I for the members, you should check. I don't even know how to do the special emojis and stuff. But
on Twitch, bro, YouTube.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not interested. Oh, send me that's what it was. Little sports Black history facts. If you have a little known sports Black history fact, they love those things. They're vibing with the first Black quarterback in the witchcraft, the voodoo in which he was. He has a nickname too, Miles. Remember, all good Black quarterbacks, because we were talking about him in the spaces on Twitter today, and people were like, I thought he was actually one that I'm going to look up. Actually, I just thought about it. He really wasn't the first Black quarterback. He was the first Black quarterback in the more modern era. But there were a couple of them that maybe he was the first Black quarterback to start or something like that. But Marlon Briscoe. But let me find Marlon's. It's crazy what his nickname, the Magician. Marlon Oliver, the Magician Briscoe. But like that music. So I put that up and I talked to my boy Grant. And Grant told me that there's apparently just the horn section of the band. Like I told him, I'm trying to get him to come hang out with me for my birthday. And when I'm in Tallahassee, like I literally want to be woken up with trumpets. And I wanted to go into Starbucks. And before I go into Starbucks, the horn section comes in there and they just do everything. And then like different places around town, I want to be able to come in and just have that. I want a day in the life of Big Game.
They're just gonna play. They not like us.
I don't give me a second on that. I don't want that. I definitely don't want that song. I thought you were going to say War Chant or something else, but I don't want that. They not like us. It's getting redundant, man.
It is.
And,
100%.
and just the people the ones that this is meant for, are the ones who are buying it, which is what the whole problem that I have with hip hop in general. It's not like it used to be. Like Kendrick, who do you think is buying the $500 tickets for your show?
I don't think it's white people. It's specifically Drake.
Well, yeah, but the whole thing is I'm blacker than Drake. But there is a guy. So again, I'm gonna give you guys a moment in Black history here. Crazy. The first black quarterback in the SEC. I'm trying to find his name here. I hope this is the guy.
Condridge Holloway.
Oh man, what the hell is like? Why is it trying to make me do this? All right. Nate Northington. Let me see if this is the guy. Can't be this guy. Maybe it's I keep putting the first black. It's the first to start.
I keep getting a guy Conrad Holloway.
Where is he from?
He's starting.
That's him. That's him.
Oh, okay.
He's from but he's from Alabama.
Oh wow.
Make sure I'm telling you the right thing. Yep. That's not him, is it?
No, I'll put a picture.
Put a picture up. Dope ass story. Again, when I tell you guys why, it fucked up because did you? Now that I know Bear Bryant has used the hard R, it kind of fucked me. It kind of fucks up my whole. He's the biggest icon of civil rights that we have. But anyways, I'm still rolling with it. Fuck it. But like it's the baseball. Reggie Jackson talked about Bear Bryant and what he said. He said he's one of the good niggas that we need to win football games at Alabama. But if you find this guy, and I want you guys to go look this up. And ESPN did a story about it. Condredge Holloway, quarterback, University of Tennessee, played in the CFL. He was one of the first African-American quarterbacks to receive national exposure. He also has a nickname. He's the Artful Dodger.
That's nice.
He went to Lee High School in Huntsville, Alabama. 1975, 12th round pick number 306 by the New England Patriots.
Hey.
Made his bones with the Ottawa Rough Riders, the Toronto Argonauts, and the BC Lions. He is a two-time Grey Cup champion. He was first team All-SEC in 1973. Now, he's in the Tennessee Sports Hall of Fame. What makes him so special, James, besides him being the first? I'll tell you. There's a specific governor, I believe by the name of George Wallace, for the Alabama. He was known for this saying. He got arrested. He was so against segregation that he got arrested. Then added he said segregation today, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. I do not want black people integrating into our schools. I bet he wasn't against segregation. He was for segregation. I apologize. He was against integration.
Right.
Bear Bryant does what he does for civil rights and to win football games. Brings the University of Southern California into Alabama, gets his ass whooped. Do you know what he does that next year? He recruits this guy, the Artful Dodger. But he comes up with a strategy that is so good. A lot of times they have different people pick up the phone and call you. Do you know who picked up the phone and called the Artful Dodger and said that I would love to see you play at the University of Alabama? That governor that I just told you that said segregation today, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. This man had the governor who got arrested for trying to stop integration, had him call and get him into. That's how. When I tell you guys, Don't be on the wrong side of history because sports, all we care, winning cures all. And we want this to happen. And like, don't go back and have to tell these people these stories, man. I was so racist that, like, yeah, I really believe I found that video too by the guy. We talking about the transmissions. I really believe that if we got 22 transmissions and they all went up against the University of Alabama and gave them a good game, you guys' whole entire thought process on the LGBTQTCBY community would change on that.
What was the governor's name?
I believe it was George Wallace. Make sure I'm telling you the right, because I could be fucking this up with the names.
I keep getting them confused too. Like, who? Why is Tommy Tuberville keep coming in?
Because he's damn near that.
That's right. That's why I'm getting him confused with Tommy Tuberville. Oh yeah, I think this.
It was George Wallace.
Yeah,
It was George Wallace.
Right now.
George Wallace picked up the phone and called this man.
Whoa!
Do you know what his mother had to be thinking when this happened?
Here's a picture for you guys. This George Wallace.
This man, can we blow this up? This is how powerful football is. This man, before y'all tried to, again, I'm not here for the arguments with you. I'm a history major. Before we rebranded this heritage, not hate, this man was out here just full with it, with his whole chest out. In a smile. Look at that. Look at that baby face.
I feel like this has to be a Klan rally. The way it looks.
No, I mean, it's Alabama. It could be a Klan rally. Have you seen the thing where the comedians talking about, but what about the Klan? Like, it starts off with ribs and a barbecue. It's innocent. Then you realize, oh shit, I'm at a rally. Well, I've already eaten the ribs, so I can't just leave now. I got to stay for a little bit. I say all of this to say is that it does, Luke. It sounds like a Chappelle skit. It does. When I was just randomly, it wasn't an ESPN 30 for 30. It was like an ESPN short. Like, so like they do the little small things. They're not quite the full episodes. They did one of him, and it was the craziest. It was the damnedest thing I've ever seen. But if you have some little known sports Black history facts, please let me know. And I would love to learn about these things. I would love to educate people about these things. I'm going to go clip my my interview with the original 4 Black. Have I told y'all the story about like one of the guy who played with the Pittsburgh Steelers from Florida State, one of the original 4? It's gonna come to me. Is Bobby? No, it's not Bobby. Bobby Washington was one of them. Charlie Hunt was one of them. Then the one guy who lives out in Washington, and then he lives in Pittsburgh. But he got a letter in his locker right before he played Florida. And they were saying that if he played, they were going to lynch him, lynch his mom. They were going to do all these different things. And they said that now Florida had a player. He was white. He was white complexion, but he was Hispanic. I believe his last name was like Gonzalez or something. Don't quote me on that. But it was definitely a Hispanic guy. And he said he was so furious at that letter that he got in his locker. He said he tried to kill him in the game. Like, he was this, and he said, and he's like, it was so bad that years later when they both made it to the NFL, he saw the guy, he came up to him, he said, "Hey man, I know it's a rivalry and all, man, but God damn, like, you were trying to keep. What was wrong with you? Did I do something to you personally for you to whoop up on me in that game like that?"
Right.
And so he told him, he said, "Nah, dude, I got a letter in my locker, and they said they were going to do some harm to my family, and they were talking about you, and you just happened to be that." He said, "Man, I'm Spanish. I'm not white. They would have killed me too." It was just funny. Like, I promise you, man, one of the things that would make you change your whole perspective on the climate of today is go talk to an old, like, not one of them yesers, like a good old Black person that like has lived through some things, and they'll tell you how terrified they are about how things look, like things that they thought they outlived, they outran. They feel like it's slowly coming back, man. And it's wild, but it's also funny to hear them tell these stories, because it's like it makes you feel a certain type of way. Wallace ran for president as a Democrat and got shot and paralyzed. All of them was Democrats at that time. It's so funny to hear the argument about that with racists that tell you that, well, Democrats had the racist policies, and I'm like, well, why aren't you fighting those policies now as a Republican? And then they don't have anything to like. I was like, they don't have anything to say as a Republican. I'm saying I'm not coming here to get political or anything. It's just funny how things change, like the Southern strategy. Go really read some history books, guys. Typically, the ones that they're trying to ban are the best ones. But one of the things that we try to do is help with literacy, help with education, and help people be able to go forth, because I am an advocate of public schools. And this is my 5th annual book bag drop that is coming up. And if you pull that up, you got it, Miles. If you can pull it up, there's one thing that we still need. We're about halfway through it. So we got about 2,000 bags left. I got to go do another update. It's just under 2,000 bags, but we're still around that. We'll round up. But it's just something that I simply need. And a guy who I think is a quack, but he says some things righteous sometimes. He's going to express to you what I need from you.
Donations. 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 Donations.
One thing I don't want. Don't give me this.
Gifts.
I don't want a Red Lobster. I don't want a Red Lobster gift card, guys.
More gifts. More gifts. Donation.
What a weird flex.
Yes, I don't know. Like that is a weird flex. I'm not. Well, I kind of technically am doing that. People have been giving all kinds of money, $250 here, $100 there. There's no donation that is too big. I can promise you that. You can stroke the whole fucking check if you want to, but there's no donation that's too small. You can give 36 cents for all I care. Money sign MFTK36 is that, and I think we do have. If you go look at a couple of those amounts, we do have a couple of the people who gave donations. I am shouting people out on Twitter. Much thank you to my pilgrim queen. She's not a princess. She's still a little too old to be a princess. But Shanta Combs, she gave I believe it was $250. Shout out to her for that. Shout out to my guys, Stevie Stacks. Stevie Stacks always comes through. He I think Stevie gave about $250 as well. I didn't want to retweet what Stevie Stacks gave because I do know that people come up and ask him for a lot of money as well. But that's fun. So we're still doing donations for that. I'm actually going to put out a new post with a link that you could go. It has 1 bag, 1 bag, 5 bags, 10 bags. You can leave a donation. You can do whatever you want. For those who want to use credit cards or debit cards and don't have Cash App or Venmo or Apple Pay. But I don't have Venmo or whatever. Now, one of the things that's spicy, I got to tell you guys about the fight that we got in with Reigns at Camden County. Miami Northwestern and Miami Central got in the fight, but Miami keeps it really spicy with the different things they can do. And in particular, when you have a coach who played in the NFL for some years, in Teddy Bridgewater, and knows the Miami culture, they're doing this is wild what they just did. Yeah, let's play it. It's if you go to this, they're doing a spoof on Boys in the Hood. I absolutely love every aspect of this, but people don't. Like people get a little too get the panties in a wad when you're doing stuff like that. What about not chivalry, sportsmanship? Fuck that. Win. Let's listen to this as a family.
Come on, why you had to bring that ball? I ain't gonna say nothing. Get took now.
Y'all want to see a dead body?
Yeah. Man, Trey Daddy died the nigga last night.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of gun your daddy got?
I think he had a switch. I don't know. Damn.
Stank as fuck.
Got maggots in his brain. It smell like that school behind Popeyes. Oh, fuck. I ain't gonna lie, he smell like Freezy 119 Market. Boy, meat. Yeah, dude. Oh, that shit. Yeah. He deserved whatever he got.
Okay, what's up? Shut up. Okay, what's up? Okay, shut up.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love the hood. But Carroll City, I guess was dissed in this one. And I guess they are the school behind Popeyes. If you know where it's at. I thought that's hilarious.
Someone needs to get paid for this type of. Who put the money behind this?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Oh.
And these videos aren't as there's a lot more people with cameras now that know editing, and even you can get kids. It's kind of like while I'm looking at not. If you're good, and you do command the price, and you can go to certain places. But I be looking at some people and they be charging a lot, and I'm like, man, let me go find this kid off of Instagram and see what he's got going, because the kids off of Instagram do it better. You can get them some. It's almost like the old mechanics. You get them a 6-pack and $100. I can go get the kids some Zaxby's, and it's just they'll give me the greatest work that I've ever had in my life. But I'll tell you this much right here: tailgate season's coming up. I did invite Bordeaux to a tailgate and to a game if you wanted to come check one out. I promise you, tailgate, barbecue, whatever the case may be. This next video coming up. If you do this to me, somebody getting thrown off the top of line 19. I don't care if you're trying to look out for my health. I don't care what we're trying to do. But there is no place in the world this demand, violence. Violence should have happened to this person. Well, not this person here laying down. That person's clearly alive. It's really bad acting when you look at it. But this right here, if anybody does this to somebody, they deserve to be taken care of, taken off of this planet.
Oh, that looks good. Miguel! What the fuck?
Miguel, a carrot hot dog?
It's good for you.
What am I, a rabbit, dude? Are you serious?
No, but taste it though.
I'm not gonna taste.
Taste it.
He's really mad.
I'm not gonna get mad. I'm not gonna get mad.
Did you even?
I'm not gonna get mad. But that's rude as shit. That's rude.
They put mustard on it. It's crazy because one, we shouldn't be eating hot dogs, but that's besides. No tubular meat should be entering your mouth at this point in your life. But it happens.
They're good.
Hot dogs are good. It's I don't care what they're made out of.
Yeah,
I like hot dogs. Give me some ketchup, some mustard. This man put all the good the American fixings that you need to put on this bad boy, and he bit into it knowing he was going to hear a crunch, and he was going to taste pork or beef, whatever your flavor.
Is he really small?
That guy?
Yeah.
I believe so.
I was I don't know. It just occurred to me the hands were really big.
The man is mad. He no matter how small he is,
he still put them paws on.
He's big mad. I can tell you that much. He is big mad, no matter how small he is. All right, those are just some things that I just saw, some housekeeping things, but I thought that they were pretty funny. Continuation. One of my favorite. One of my favorite athletes. Don't care what happened. Don't care if you believe he's guilty or not guilty. He was found not guilty in the court of law for murdering 2 white people. That alone is a little known Black history. Is a great Black history fact. Now, he did get punished some years later for a crime he still didn't commit. He might have committed that one, but the that's where I learned about kidnapping. Kidnapping is literally taking somebody from one room to the other against their will. That's considered kidnapping. But he just went to go get his shit back that somebody illegally obtained from him. But yesterday was O.J. Simpson's birthday. And shout out to the Juice. BET made Stephen A. Smith mad by acknowledging O.J. in their memoriam at the BET Music Awards. But fuck Stephen A. Smith.
Hold on. What did they do?
They acknowledged him. They said he died this year. So they gave him, they said, people who have died, and that was their acknowledgement of O.J. Simpson.
Nothing. I thought you meant a whole special.
Even if they did.
That's a little much.
Why can't we honor O.J.?
I mean,
the man was not found guilty. He was found not guilty. I don't care what anybody says. The man, you know what he did? So we can speculate that he may did it. And he thought about writing a book called If I Did It. Personally,
I thought he wrote that book.
No, they didn't let it go. Personally, after going through the Reddits, I don't believe he did it at all. Now, I do believe his son might have done it. And apparently there was a serial killer that lady had let in her house. OJ had a bad knee and a bad hand and killed a trained martial arts expert in Ron Goldman.
Yeah, a LA lawyer trade. I don't believe that part too much.
But what I'm saying is, if OJ, Ron Goldman didn't go up against OJ, All Pro Hall of Fame OJ. He went up against old OJ, and he should have easily made work. And like, it wasn't like OJ shot him. OJ used them, like he sliced them. He should have been able to get that. Nobody's just, if you stand there while somebody slices you, like if you're getting sliced up and I get sliced up at the same time, like I waited for you to finish slicing them, getting sliced up and waited my turn, like then that's just God's will, man. Like it's no way. But anyways, my point in all of that is what we do know he did, without a shadow of a doubt, is rush for 2,000 yards in the season. In a 14-game schedule. Like everything else is speculation. We know he was a phenomenal football player. We know how we felt at Naked Gun when he was in it. We know about the Hertz commercials. We know about all of those different things. We know without a shadow of a doubt that the juice was in fact loose. But anyways,
I'm not black up OJ too.
I'm now that's okay. Like, listen, if we want to get mad at him about not being black enough, fine. But he did have a birthday, and he did die this year. And another guy, because what happens is this is a thing that you deal with as a. I'm sure minorities do it. They call you an Oreo if you're black. They call you, I'm sure, but I don't know if they call Asians Twinkies or something because, yellow on the outside, white on the inside. I don't know what the Hispanic version of this is, but like there's all kinds of cultures go through this. Right now, Jonathan Majors is like, he's trying his hardest to get back ingratiated. And all he did was get his ass whooped by a white woman and grab her wrist. And everybody was like, man, because don't get mad at me. That's what the police report says, and that's what the charges were. They said this man was charged because he aggressively defended himself.
Right.
That's what happened. Like, not me making it up, but he deserves to be charged for this. And he is with his new girlfriend that got tired of living the pastor's wife life and became a whore again, which is cool. We like that. I love that version of Megan Good. Like, that's just what happens to the good guys. But now she's with Jonathan Majors, who also that white bitch fucked up the Marvel universe for a little bit. Hopefully it gets better. But this is where the problem exists. And if you watch this man dance, then you'll know what my issues are with him and this fucking song. Play the one to the left. Somebody says he dances like he was they're drinking illegal whiskey, illegal hooch. Now, if you go to the next clip, like he's clearly not dancing to the same They Not Like Us that everybody else is listening to. If you go to the Instagram, like Charlamagne posted the actual version of They Not Like Us that he must be listening to. It's in the notes, possible.
Oh.
But this man just offbeat, and he's not beating any of the allegations.
I couldn't even hear the song, and I could tell
that it was They Not Like. Of course, it's every song. It's They Not Like Us, and it's not a wedding. It's like celebrating the movie that his girlfriend was in about divorce and some shit like that. I don't know.
I've been laughing for 40 days.
But the video is just, we're going to probably get jammed up too, man. Fuck you.
I got doubt in my pants.
Hold on, wait a minute.
The remixes are better than his. The actual version.
They not like us. I took a pocket to pull. Hey, they not like us. I took a pocket to pay. Take it for hey. You a rapper, young whippersnapper. You ain't been through nothing.
Oh my goodness.
baby had to leave the studio because your sugar got low. I got gout in my pinky toe. Hi,
He said he got gout.
I got gout in my pinky toe.
They gotta do my boy Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors, dancing is not your thing. We need to get you back acting soon, man, so that you for the best of everybody. Something that I won't do. These are continuations. There's not a woman on this planet that I love enough to crease my my shoes because of her bad decisions. Apparently, Essence Fest was happening this past weekend. And here's a man that's clearly a better man than me. Husband walks barefoot around the city, around New Orleans, pissy streets of New Orleans. Walks barefoot after giving his shoes to his wife because she couldn't walk in heels. She made a bad decision, and now he must suffer. Like there's not other places that you can go buy fucking heels. Not heels, buy flat shoes or sandals and be just as romantic. But this is what this guy did. They got the sound.
Oh,
I'm gonna walk barefoot back to the hotel.
You're such a great husband.
I was about to say, can you big up the husband that you have real quickly?
Just creasing them.
I didn't want to walk barefoot because that's just what we're trying to do.
Got me walking barefoot in the Noya.
These shoes are
Shoes too big.
All I ask is don't crease my shoes, yo. The things we do for our women, yo. Come on, man. Come on, man.
You see all this back there?
The shoes are too small. They're too big for her, so she has to crease them.
You ain't wrong when you right.
Not happy. We can walk barefoot together.
Walking around.
But I'm not giving you my shoes, man. You're not creasing.
Make sure you tell him you got the best husband.
I do got the best husband. You are very sweet.
I told you guys about a linebacker that Florida State was recruiting. He had two last names from the West Coast. I told you it wasn't going to go well. Trust no man with two last names. And I thought I was done with the two last names. But apparently, some men just can't leave well enough alone. And now I can't trust if he's going to be able to rush the passer for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I will talk about this on First Coast News. Josh Allen has now changed his name to Joshua Hines Allen. He went from being decisive to becoming an indecisive male and giving himself two last names. I can understand women doing it because logic escapes women sometimes. But a grown ass man running toward a lack of logic bothers me. Just play the video of him deciding to do this and what's going on.
It's not a struggle to finally say that this is what I want to do. This is what we're going to do. I am deciding to change my last name. I'm Joshua Hines Allen, defensive end, Jacksonville Jaguars. You know, I've always been a Hines, and legacy is forever. Family is important to me because when you come from a rich history of athletic people in your family, and myself being the youngest one to go to all my sister's games, to know what my uncles did in college and in the NBA, it just means something a little bit more. It was almost destined for me to follow that footsteps. It's going to be a surreal moment the first time I can get my name announced. Growing up, having my sisters run out the tunnel, intros, lights going dark, Hines Allen. Everybody's watching me. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. My last name has changed, but I am still that person. And I'm going to continue to play like it, or play even better. Now it's like I have the attention of people that are interested. They saw what I did last year, so now I can create my narrative on what I want to do. And that's why I think right now.
Saw what Josh Allen did.
Once I get to the part of the Jaguars,
we don't know what the fuck Josh Hines Allen did.
When I look there, it's like that's my legacy. And that's what I've always wanted. That's I say that.
You got tired of being confused by the better Josh Allen. Which is funny because if you watch the Sports Day from the jump, we used to call that Josh Trash Josh. And this Josh Allen has been up and down, or Josh Hines Allen has been up and down, which I guess it does make sense. It's just like he can't make a decision, so he's it's definitely up and down. Hyphenating your last name is the legacy that you want to leave. Man, hey, It's a marriage. This is what I go back to telling people, like, why marriage you don't have to get. This man just changed his last name, ladies, and he didn't get married.
Oh.
He went to a government office and said, I want to change my last name. And they let him do it. And he didn't have to bend the knee. No, nothing else happened. You can get, I tell them, everything that you guys want, you can get without marriage now. Like bank accounts, all kinds of shit. But
I think, you know what this signals to me? It's coming to that time like where you can smell it, where we're so close to football, we will take in anything about football. Give me anything. You change your last name, I don't give a fuck. Tell me all about it. As long as it has something to do with football, I'm ready to hear it, and I'm actually getting kind of excited.
It used to be cool shit though. Chad Johnson changed his name to Chad Ochocinco.
Yeah, you know what? You're right.
That was cool.
Pretty cool.
And he didn't put a hyphen in it either. It was all one thing. If he did Hanzala, I would have no problem. If it's Hanzala, I have no issue with it. But it's Hines-Allen. I have an issue with it.
We don't even know who Hines.
I don't.
We
Yeah,
don't know his family story. Y'all pretend to get.
They didn't even, like. They just talked about his sisters. They talked about the women who had the hyphenated last name.
We don't know who any of them.
Like, why can't I can see if you were like Heinz Ketchup related.
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay. At some point they're gonna drop the other shoe. Why this is important?
Maybe. But that being said, you just gave a really good thing. And I just talked to my man Bordeaux. Again, it's on there after you watch this. It's about a 40-minute interview where we talked about the gameplay of NCAA 2025. You know, you know what's bullshit is that this man, I know this man has games because he's giving away games.
Facts, 100%.
I said, have you been able to play the game at home? They won't let him talk about it. He cannot confirm nor deny if he has a copy of the game to be able to play. I want to know about recruiting. He can't tell me about recruiting. I want to know about Dynasty Mode. He can't tell me. So now I got to wait till Monday. But there was a lot of good things in that interview. I also realized that I am really old. He is 21 years old. That is crazy to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I thought I at least was thinking, man, give me 24, 25, man. But he is young.
Madden streamers are usually they're older. They be older.
I was like, he's playing 20, so but he couldn't even appreciate NCAA 2014 when it was actually out. Because that would have made him 11. Like, he didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know what life. He didn't know, like, just staying up all night, skipping work, like not doing things for 2014. I told people the truth. My end to playing video games happened when that video game, when we didn't have any new ones. But there's a great video of a commercial that they shot some years ago where the old heads like were putting their uniform on. This is basically me and my friend group, what we're going to be like on Monday and Tuesday once we get this video game, beating the shit out of 11-year-olds if we can. We're like lacing them up. Guys are getting their helmets, they're getting their jerseys, getting their PTO, paid time off. This is going to be us right here, already smiling when the video game gets up. If you know who Big Noel is, this is Big Noel right here. This is me. I'm gonna go ahead and call myself Jerry Rice right here. No, that's actually Dibby, because Dibby had braids and he needed to sacrifice them like Jerry did. So we'll go with that's Dibby. Oh, it was stank too. Yeah. Big Noel is Dan Marino. Randy, they made Randy look way over. And this is gonna be me with the Emmitt Smith.
You looking good, boy.
This is us getting ready for that video, the Vicky game. We're coming in. All these bitter baby mamas, women who ain't got shit, can't afford $40, telling you what kind of grown man plays video game. Me, bitch. That's me. I'm the type of guy that plays a video game. Oh, that dude's hilarious. Game coming up, all kinds of lies are being exposed. One thing that Charlamagne and the Breakfast Club taught us is that everything is a rollout. Arch Manning made news for not being in the video game and saying he's not going to do this. Well, Arch Manning and the Manning family have now, they have a video where they put out that Arch is going to, in fact, be in the video game. And play that, but then the lies that come out of this that just don't even make sense. That just the way that these on 3, that's why I'm going to create on 3-6 as a parody, so that we could just really just laugh at these motherfuckers, man, because none of the shit makes sense when you verbalize the words and you put it out there. But here's Eli Manning and the Mannings doing smart work for the Manning family brand.
All right, here we go. Let's go gun far, Sigmund right nasty, Z Riz, F Whirly Bird, alert scarecrow. All right, use a little cadence here. All right, you ready?
Are you sure about this?
Absolutely. I mean, this is the best way to focus on football, right? So get your eyes on the safety, be vocal out there.
Yes, coach. I mean, Uncle E.
It's better.
Green 18. Green 18. Omaha? It's a hut.
All right, there he is. There he is. Now! Boom! Touchdown! Now that's why you're in the game.
EA Sports. I'm in the game.
Wow, these guys are masterful.
That was a great rollout.
Masterful.
Great
The
rollout.
Mannings are taking over.
Congrats. You were going to be in the game whether you liked it or not, son. People were going to create Arch Manning.
I mean, this got to be from the Manning team, right? The way they set
they set it up.
I mean,
it's
this
all
is
good.
perfect.
People are complaining about their ratings, and it got me thinking, nostalgic. I remember the NCAA 2004 was the first one that I was in. I had a rating of 69. And somebody called me sorry.
But you were...
I started my sophomore year. But they judged you based off of the video game. So that's why these players are like, hey, man, my rating kind of low right now, man. And people are trolling players for this. Now, one of the things that Bordeaux, I couldn't ask Bordeaux about, but I'll give the guy props. He's an asshole on social media, but this is great. His name is Blue and Orange Gator. And Blue and Orange Gator has this thing that he come up, and it's exclusive. Like, they have cut play action. They're so realistic. EA Sports released the beta to the UGA Dynasty game mode, in which users can simulate the exclusive day-to-day experience of being a Georgia football player. And we got that video for you. Shout out to Blue and Orange Gator for providing us with this exclusive EA Sports content. And if you understand, if you see how Georgia's offseason has gone the last 3 years, you'll fully understand why they needed to make this as realistic as possible.
Is this is it?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Y'all are wild. They really put Grand Theft Auto. Oh my Yo, this is messed up.
They keep getting DUIs, man. Kirby, get a hold of your goddamn program, man. Know before you blow. Like the same thing you tell your daughters, tell your players before they know when they blowing. Come on, man. People are getting unalived out here, man.
I know
because of Georgia football, for Georgia to win football games, man. It's bullshit.
And this is just what we're finding out. Imagine what gets
under
the rug.
The top 100 players, Bordeaux did give us some insight that they actually literally went and adjusted the attributes to the top 100 players so that there's more realistic gameplay for it. Ohio State is clearly the best team on this video game with 8 top 100 players. Georgia and Alabama with 6. Michigan and Oregon with 5. Believe it or not, the Iowa Hawkeyes, LSU, and Notre Dame with 4. Ole Miss, Penn State, Kansas, Arizona, and the U with 3. Not Oregon. Oklahoma, Wisconsin, Clemson, Texas, Colorado, North Carolina, Kentucky, Louisville, Cincinnati, OSU, and Liberty University with those. Texas A&M, Rutgers, Florida State, West Virginia, Virginia Tech, Tennessee, Missouri, Minnesota, Arkansas, Colorado State, Syracuse, Purdue, UCF, Texas Tech, Virginia, Boise State, SMU, Southern California, Old Dominion, Cal, and Jack State, all with 1 player in the top 100. I'm sorry, I'm not going to hold you, but I'm not gonna. All right, I did so. I'm not gonna hold you, but like Ohio State makes sense. Georgia, Alabama, I'll give you that. I don't give a fuck if it's the offensive lineman or not. Iowa Hawkeyes don't have 4 guys that are good.
That's what I was going to ask you. Should we start looking at some betting odds in the future to see if
Kansas.
Iowa's going to upset some things?
Yeah, no, they're not.
Because
they're going to be mid. That's what they do. Kansas. All right, you want to give Miami that? Fine. Arizona. Here's where we used to be a proper country. You used to win, like when you won a national championship, they made that next year's team good. Like when you actually did something.
Yeah.
Colorado has 2 really good players. Well, 1 really good player and another player that y'all are trying to force down our throat to make us believe is good. And that's Deion's favorites. But you can't like that. That's just no, bro. And Shedeur there's nothing that shows Shedeur is a 90 overall. What games were y'all watching? It couldn't have been the same game that I was watching.
I think they're just going off a hype.
Shedeur Sanders is Carson Beck. I see being 90. There is nothing that you can show me that shows Carson Beck and Shedeur Sanders. I don't give a fuck what these rankings are saying. They're not in the same thing. Dylan Gabriel being a 92, Quinn Ewers being a 92, Jalen Milroe being a 90, Jalen Daniels being a 90, Jackson Dart being a 90, and Caden Salter, whoever the fuck that is, being a 90. The top 10 players, I give you Will Johnson, Will Campbell, LSU, left tackle, Ollie Gordon, we'll talk about him later, 96 overall. James Pierce Jr., 95. Caleb Downs, 95. Travis Hunter, 95. Malachi Starks, 95. Mason Graham, 95. Quayshawn Judkins, who came from Ole Miss to Ohio State, is a 95. Tate Rutledge, 95. What's crazy in this is that LSU has a guy that's that, and our guys were eating against LSU, but that's neither here nor there. B. Nakos puts, going back to the Mannings and their brilliance. Now, I'm going to put this statement. This is a statement made by the Mannings consistently. Arch Manning will not receive any NIL funds until he becomes the starting quarterback of Texas. Arch Manning will not receive any NIL funds until he becomes the starting quarterback at Kansas. Pete Nakos, and here's what the thing is. NIL Whispers. These are the same. On3 is the same company that told you that a guy was upset about a contract that he wasn't going to receive until August when he left Pittsburgh to go to USC. And their source was some random ass person that was anonymous. They never give you firm details, and this is with whom you choose to place your faith. They never tell. They are the most manufacturing shit company, and I want you to think about this. Let's use our because this is the product of people who believe this shit is the product of No Child Left Behind. That's the problem with what W did. EA Sports didn't want to pay players $600. That was one of the reasons why they didn't want to do the game, because of NIL. So what is it? What is it? So let me do the math. So before I get to the number, you have it up there. It's the last one in that thing. Let's go. All right. NIL Whispers. EA Sports paid Texas quarterback Arch Manning between $50,000 and $60,000 to promote college football 25. On3 Sports has learned. The former number 1 overall recruit in the 2023 class will still receive his $600 and a copy of the video game for opting in. More on this at On3 Sports. So you're telling me the NCAA that the EA Sports paid a backup quarterback? Forget the rest of this shit. Just listen to what is being prosed here. EA Sports paid a backup quarterback 100 times more than anybody else, than the average person in the video game. That's what 60,000 comes out to be. Like, does that Does that make business sense to you? To a family that's literally said, we're not taking any money until he starts. Now, if he was the starting quarterback in Texas, 100% believe it.
Honestly, I don't know. It could be not enough if they have the backing of the Manning's production team, you know, and that name.
But they don't. Their whole thing right now
that's a lie.
Is for him to not pay attention to it
That's
because they don't need the money.
That's completely not. They are taking over broadcasting.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they know the money is going to be there for him.
Yeah.
They need him to be what they think he's going to be because they're going to reset the market when it happens.
Right.
The problem is Arch could just say, yes, I got paid this kind of money. They don't have to lie about this.
I don't get that part either. What's the shining knight lying part?
But the problem is, and maybe he did get paid more than $600. But 100 times more than the average person.
The Manning cast gets such good numbers just to be mentioned. I think it's worth it.
Without a doubt.
I think it's a worthwhile investment.
But the thing is, I don't think they were bitching about paying like Shadur. Like, they were bitching about paying everybody, dog. Like,
Shadur should get paid more too.
They're not gonna pay the backup. Like, next year, yes. Next year's video. And to be honest with you, the greatest ever I don't know who this is.
But I mean, who's the starter, right? He doesn't have a commercial. We
Quinn
just saw the commercial.
But their family can just produce it. That's the point.
That's
the Bronny effect is the fact that we're talking about Arch Manning. That's why I said Arch. That's why Archie Manning is in our greatest dads of all time.
Facts. He is.
We saw Arch Manning's highlight film as a family.
Yeah.
We broke this shit down. This man was playing midgets. Like, I'm not saying he's not going to be good, but the fact that y'all be on Bronny James for his dad getting him $4 million and y'all think like that this is kosher?
That's a good juxtaposition because this is way stronger than what LeBron is.
Way stronger. Like, this man's stronger. There's nothing that you have seen. I have seen Tramel Jones will us to win a football game against nothing but top talent against him. And I had to watch this man get bounced in the first round in the smallest classification in Louisiana. Not even playing the Bobby Bouchers. Probably playing cross-sided Cajuns. And that's what you like. Again, I'm not saying he won't be good in college. You surround him with good talent. He has tools. He's a fucking Manning. But at the same time, guys, you don't have to believe he was the number one overall. Even LeBron didn't have enough clout to make his son, make Bronny James the number one overall prospect.
Yeah, he's definitely not. He's just, the Manning name is just that powerful in media right now, as a media name now. Not just as a football name, as a media, a whole production company and they're great on camera.
I mean, they are.
You know, they can get paid just as talent, but now you have talent and production team. I mean, the Mannings are doing it. I don't know what Tom Brady's going to do.
I don't know, man. But I will say this. Going to the next thing has nothing. Like, sometimes you got to protect the family at all costs. And one of the things that a lot of people probably should consider is sharing, because sharing is caring. I think if this young lady would have shared her boyfriend, polygamy is safer. I'll just put it like that. If you're going to leave. Do not defend the honor of the mate. Just let sleeping dogs lie. Yeah. And don't be like this young lady right here. And listen to her testimony of why she should have just shared that guy.
Bring her down. If you just came from fighting the side, bitch.
Put it up. Yeah. And technically, to quote this old black lady that I saw, if a man is faithful to two women for 4 years, that's not the side bitch. That's the other woman. Like if everything was being taken care of, you didn't know until you decided to go over there and get accosted. But listen to this young lady and why she should have thought about polygamy or just breaking up and finding a man who just wanted her for her own.
Bring her down. If you just came from fighting the side bitch of your nigga of 4 years. 4 years. You never knew about this bitch. You never knew nothing. Bro.
Yeah, I don't even want to hear the rest of the story. That lady was clearly talking with her hands. and you was listening. Ma'am, I think you're the side chick now. Speaking of Arch Manning and not being good, at a certain point, we should have put this. I didn't get a good organization. At a certain point, 99% of us, 99% of student athletes go pro in something other than their sport. And it's about time for Cam Rising to go ahead and just get a CDO or like go become a bouncer, become a bodyguard. Boy. Utah quarterback Cam Rising is eligible to return for an 8th year of football next season. I asked him if he'll be back in 2025. That's not the plan. 7 years is more than enough. I agree with you. Just go ahead and bro, go be a Mormon. Go start a Mormon church somewhere. Like
Van Wilder.
Yes, that part. He's the Van Wilder of sports. Speaking of that, Miami has an 8th year tight end right now. But Miami's making moves. University of Miami, shout out to them. Killing it, doing very well in recruiting. That is what they do. They do so well off the field. So, like, when you're thinking about things, Mario Cristobal has a great budget where he can expand things and make himself better, make his team better, right? So what would you do if you're like, it's the winning of football games that they're struggling with right now. So you would think, let's go get better coaches or some shit like that. Nope. They're going to keep getting better at recruiting and say, fuck coaching. One day we're just going to have enough cats and we're going to out-cat cats. Miami is expected to hire Arkansas State's assistant AD for player personnel, Trip Carrico, perfect Miami name, in a high-ranking personnel and recruiting role. Sources tell 247. Carrico, a top up-and-comer in the personnel space, previously worked at ECU, Virginia, and Alabama as tweeted by Matt Zentz, but that's not it. There's another tweet that he came out with. Miami is set to hire Arizona State Director of Scouting, Devontae Love Taylor, 2 last names. Told y'all about that shit. Assistant director of personnel for for a school, Arizona State, that has won a lot of games. Not very many. The Florida native and ex-Florida State team captain / all ACC lineman is considered a rising star in the recruiting space. So Miami, again, getting guys for off the field to be able to help them do something that they already do very well, because that makes sense. Strengthen your strengths because you're really weak at your weaknesses. Sometimes that'll help you. But notice where this young man because Miami fans love to discuss things like this on social media. Their hatred of Florida State and how much Florida State sucks. In particular, before these last 2 years, the last 5 years, this guy was a part of that suck. So what would make sense, because you, with your inability to get over the hump, let's hire the guys from the rivals that we say suck during the suckiest time of that rival's tenure. That'll help us win games. Hey, I happen to like Devontae, except for the fact that he has 2 last names. But I do like the fact that he's getting there. Do your stuff right there. Go Hurricanes. They got him. I don't know what that. Good for you. Gabby Urethra post that Frank Tucker, who runs, I'm assuming this is a website, a prospect promotion and South Florida recruiting media coverage for rivals. Is set to join. He runs the Crib South Florida. Set to join Miami's recruiting department as a recruiting relations director. 247 Canes has learned Tucker has strong ties to the South Florida community. What better way to do what you're already good at in recruiting South Florida by hiring somebody that's going to? Is redundancy Cuban for success? Is that like that's the way that you like? That's the slang. I don't know. Like, keep doing your thing. If you guys feel like that, I'm not. Hey, do your thing, man. UAB Personal Director Jacob Lucas is returning to Miami as the coordinator of scouting administration after spending time on Trent Dilfer's staff. So they're bringing in another recruiter to help do what they already do a really good job of, and but they're not bringing in nobody to do the things that they don't do very well yet, and that's win. Again, it's not my problem, but congratulations or whatever it is that y'all want for that. But shout out to that. My guy with two last names, Devontae Taylor. As someone tweets out, as someone who has played and worked for Kenny Dillingham, I am thankful for the opportunities he has given me and for allowing me to represent his program. I will be joining Canes football as the assistant director of player personnel and can't wait to get to work. # go Canes. Congratulations to you, but I know you're going to be torn because you're indecisive because you have two last names. Shout out to my boy Ricky, the U in Miami. Miami, I do believe, is coming back because they got dudes with hairlines like my boy Sir Dibby Dukes. Man, this is egregious. This young man is a very good football player, but that hairline is the hairline of a man who's of Carl Winslow. It's a hairline of a man with 4 kids and emotional problems. Like that is, but good for you. When guys start looking like that, that's when they're focused on football. Like he give a fuck about a haircut and a barber. I'm trying to get out here. The women will chase you because you're good. And shout out to you. And he's also getting paid a lot of money. So good for him. Now, always college football. Greg McElroy is the king of liars. He's a guy who said that he never believed Florida State should be in the playoff team, but the week before that said that Florida State should be in the playoffs. Greg McElroy talks about you got to have good quarterback play to win a national championship, even though he has the utmost experience of being a sorry-ass quarterback in that won a national championship. It's a lot of things that like him, Josh Pate, are the kings of just saying whatever the fuck they want to do. And it's further proof that if you have a battery behind you, you could just talk and nobody gives a fuck. But let's listen to what Greg McElroy has to say about the Miami Hurricanes, and this is hopeful for Miami Hurricanes.
Here's my top team in the ACC. It's the Miami Hurricanes. Now, you're going to sit there and say, well, Mario Cristobal is 12-13. Well, I think he inherited a really difficult situation, first and foremost. I don't think there was as much talent on the roster as one might like to assume. But I look at some of the additions they've made in the portal, some of the additions they've made on the recruiting trail, and I look at this roster. And I remember people last year losing their mind about the Texas Longhorns. We had Texas ranked number 6 in the preseason last year, 6 or 7 in that vicinity. And people were losing their minds saying, oh, here we go again. Texas always in the top 5, they're top 10. They're going to disappoint you. Just wait. And we said, look at the roster and assess this year's team differently than past year's teams. And in this particular case involving Texas last year and Miami this year, there is merit to believe these groups are as talented as you might find in their respective conferences. It would not surprise me at all if they ultimately win the ACC this year and punch their ticket to the college football playoff.
Okay, Greg. Sure thing, Jen. Whatever. I just... Things that Steve Sarkisian's been called. A drunk. An amazing play caller. Things Mario Cristobal's never been called. A snazzy dresser and an amazing play caller. There's a reason that, with an amazing quarterback, now I do believe this quarterback is better than what they've had. But people believed Quinn Ewers was going to be really, really good. They had the wide receivers that were already there in their system that were going to be really, really good. They had running backs in their system that were going to be really, really good. They had a defense. They had a lot returning. They didn't have a lot of people that we believe can be good because they transferred to Miami, but we don't really have any true physical proof. Now, if Miami is able to catch all of this stuff in a bottle, this lightning in a bottle, and they're able to win games, I believe that they can do that. But I also believe that saying this right now is literally, you're literally going for clickbait because you know that Miami's going to live on this. And you know that Florida State, Florida, and all the other people that don't like Miami are going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? And the problem isn't that you said this. The problem is your rationale and what you try to use to back it is what you and how you said it. There was a much better way to be able to discuss this and describe this. Yet you didn't. You could have said the kid from Houston, I believe, is going to have a breakout season at wide receiver. You just said shit and you didn't even it wouldn't have made it any longer of a speech. It would have literally given us points to actually prove what you said. But you're just saying, I'm stating this because it worked when I threw something at the wall last year. But negating the fact that Texas has really fucking good coaches. Now, I do like the drunk Guidry. Guidry's a good defensive coordinator. I do like Darren Nicholson. Darren Nicholson's a good co-DC. But there's still a lot of things that have to be addressed. And we'll see all of those things August 31st. Miami has an opportunity to really give themselves a lot of momentum. And I'm not like Chris, my friend with Sporadics and others. I'm not so sold that Miami won't trounce the University of Florida.
Oh, wow.
If Miami goes out and beats the living shit out of the University of Florida, they will have the nation on notice, no matter how sorry I believe the University of Florida is. But if they go out there, don't play with their food, beat the stuffing out of them, that's what's going to be that will make everybody have some different thoughts about the dude that can't eat, that has to cut his Whoppers in half because his hands are so fucking small, and Cam Ward. So, but shout out to them. 50. Now, here's my other problem with Miami fans, outside of just the other stuff right here. You have a lot of legends, man, and you just disrespect them. These boys really came up here. And I don't even like this show. Typically, I don't support it, but this guy's whatever. Fuck it. This is just you ever see something so egregious that you just have to step back and pull up and be like, hey, man, what the fuck going on here, man?
Is this real life?
They said the greatest UM linebacker. I play the video first. I don't want to fuck it up. But for those who are waiting, who actually, you know what, in the comments, greatest University of Miami linebackers. Go ahead, put them in the comments. I want to hear what you guys have to say while we're listening to this. Who do you think the greatest linebackers to play at the University of Miami? And see if they got the two, narrowing it down to the top two in their discussion.
So we got a special segment called Little Picks. Ray Lewis or John Beeson?
Exactly.
And as college or NFL?
I didn't know this was a tough decision.
Because listen, Beeson was a bad boy, man. Beeson was a bad boy.
Sure.
Like Beeson wasn't.
But Ray is Ray.
Ray is Ray. I love. Listen, man. Ray is
man.
go that linebacker. Of course, you got to say Ray, but in college, Beeson had just as bad of a career in college than Ray. If you go back and look at it, but of course, over time, through the NFL, Ray's the greatest ever.
No Morgan in that conversation before we get off linebacker?
Morgan didn't have. Again, in college, Morgan. Listen, we'll be sitting here all day. We talking about Miami linebackers. You got DJ Williams. You got Vilma. You got like I tell people all the time. If I would have went somewhere else, I probably would have been in somebody's ring of honor in terms of college. But it's such a long list of Hurricane linebackers that my career don't look as good compared to Dan Morgan or Beeson or Vilma, because some of these dudes are Hall of Famers. So. Yeah.
We winning. Yeah. Flow.
I feel dumber for having listened to that conversation. Now, I can speak intelligently on this. Well, maybe not murder, but Murder Ray I saw. I was like watching Murder Ray coming up. Like that was an experience watching Murder Ray. I played against Beeson. Beeson was not the best linebacker that I played against in my 4 years going up against the University of Miami. Very damn good though. No disrespect to Beeson. Just fucking Vilma? Fucking John Vilma, dog? DJ Williams? And then he said, Dan, let me tell you about this. I don't know if they do it anymore. But there was a special shirt or a special club of the best white defensive player in college football. Like, Dan Morgan got that. Like, that's a hell of a respect, man. Dan Morgan, to be white, just again, to be white and play on those defenses was a fucking honor. Armstead, Barrow. As a guy who loves football, this is the problem. These guys are going around and not even honoring the legends. Michael fucking Barrow, bitch, go Google who the fuck Michael Barrow was, man. It is some cold cats, man. Man. This is why I say y'all don't have real fans. Even your players aren't real fans. Like, as a player, I would never. Like, I would just that reeks of not knowing your history.
How old was
Pickney? He's old enough to know.
That's what I was gonna say. It could be just the factor of
He's from Jacksonville. Older. That lets me know he went to Miami as just to go to Miami. He ain't a Miami guy. He is Jacksonville Rain. And the Reigns guys.
Oh, really?
Reigns guys argue like Miami fans, so I get it. Like, he's just good player.
Yeah, clearly.
No, not clear. I mean, but even like what he just said, like I'm trying to say, I don't want this to come off wrong because it's no disrespect. He was a good player, but like, man, you talking about you being a Ring of Honor
for a smaller school?
How small of a school? Like, and it's not his fault. He's
that's fine.
A player that, like, him and Shaq Quarterman, the way they played. If they played in my era, they would be way better. Okay. Downhill linebackers, violent, good, like going straight up, knock your dick in the dirt, stuff like that. The game changed. But like that's funny, Polo Kid. Don't you have to have a stadium to be in the Ring of Honor? That's fucked up. Oh my gosh. But like, nah, dog. Nah, bro. You just I can't. The program was too important at linebacker for me to let you allow this disrespect. Now, what could be said, and I've said this about Florida State and other schools, that you're so good that you're to be included in the top 10 would make you some of the best linebackers to have ever played.
Yeah.
Not at your university, in college. But like top 5, man. Top 2. And Skip Vilma. Vilma had 2 hits his freshman year versus Nebraska in the national championship game that made me question if I should be playing football. And I had to block that motherfucker the next year. Like, that's how good John Vilma is. John Vilma, so everybody sees the play against in the Orange Bowl when we played Miami, right? And where Greg Jones ran over Sean Taylor. I got a great block on Vilma. I got Vilma. I was fucking beasting ass up too. I'm fucking you up. I don't give a fuck who you are. I told you about what I used to do, Miles. I'd make them mad as fucking me. I'm playing mind games with them motherfuckers on the ISO. Vilma was so smart. When Vilma saw we were running the sweep and he knew it, that bitch was there. I couldn't do nothing about it. My coach was like, "Yeah, you supposed to cut." I said, "Bitch, that motherfucker run 4-4." I don't run. I run 4+4. Like, I am not getting to him. And like, it was when he went full speed, there was absolutely nothing that you could do to him. So like, that's just the truth of it, man. Vilma was nice, bro.
Looking at a couple lists online. Yeah, Dan Morgan, Ray Lewis, Jonathan Dillon.
Dan Morgan was so good, dog.
Michael Barrow.
Michael Barrow was nice.
Darren Smith.
It's just yeah, man. I'm not gonna allow that. I'm sorry, Luke. Like, I mean, if I'm wrong, Luke, you step in because you're the Miami fan. If I'm wrong, you step in. I just can't allow that disrespect of the legends to go on like that. But now I will say this disrespect. That while we're honoring the past, the president and moving toward the president. Shout out to I love when people talk about how many close games the University of Miami had. University of Miami did have one real close game. Bordeaux did confirm that the University of Miami does not have a specific play in their playbook when you play with them. So if you're up, like you're not going to be able to take a knee in victory formation. But a notable Atlanta program, said that they paid homage to the University of Miami. Nah, it's still in the Miami thing. Nah, it's Georgia Tech football.
Seconds to go from the 44. Snap back to Ken. Flips out to his right. Looking. 5 seconds to go. He will toss it into the end zone at the 5. Larry in the end zone. Touchdown Jackets. Touchdown Jackets. 1 second left. 10 seconds to go from the 44.
Wild play.
To his right. Looking. 5 seconds to go. He will toss it into the end zone at the 5. Larry in the
One thing I will say about the University of Miami, though, they do go out of their way to play tough opponents, and probably Cam Rising will still probably be the starting quarterback for the battle of the U's. Who is the real U? Miami will play Utah in the open of the 2027 season in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. It'll be a bunch of weirdness going on with that game. We didn't talk about that before. We're talking about a lot of other things, man. Like how long have we been on?
1 hour 17 minutes.
Oh, okay. I thought we've been on longer than that. I thought we were on longer than that. So we can go with DJU. Shout out to DJU. FSU Media, not FSU Media Days. ACC Media Days are July 22nd, I believe, through the 26th. I was supposed to go up there, but I'm not with the book bag drive and some other things that are going on. DJU dropped edit, and I think in today's day and age, you got to be careful with this shit. Like you can't, like you just posted up there, like the shit had me nervous. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was about to say we might have had to start the Luke Cromahawk era very early because he dropped this edit, and I'm just like, damn, he already transferring after Big Dave threatened to throw somebody off the top of lot 19 when they played Clemson. But and Big Dave retweeted or quote tweeted his son's thing. It's a team sport. It's not about. I almost wanted to say it in his voice, but I'm literally like I'm a little nervous. I don't want to fuck with Big. I don't want no smoke, Big Dave. But it's not about one player. I'm proud in how you understand that, son. Family is everything. God's plan. DJU. I was honored to be invited by the conference to represent Florida State at this year's ACC kickoff. The experience of attending that event in 2021 and 2022 is among the highlights of my time in college, and I appreciate being viewed as one of the conference's top players heading into the season. However, I feel strongly that Florida State should be represented by players who were part of last year's ACC championship team. The players who helped put this program back on top of the ACC should have the opportunity to be recognized for their contributions. This team is more than its quarterback, and I'm excited for my teammates who will experience this fantastic event. I think that's big of him. I wouldn't have done this. I'd have been right there in Charlotte because it's a free trip. They give you a free suit, you get free food, and you get to go hang out. But then again, these guys are getting paid now, so it's probably more of a burden for him than anything else. More Florida State news. Florida State called a board of trustee meeting July 22nd, which happens to be the day that Mike Norvell, Mike Alford, everybody else is in Charlotte at like doing their press run. So those board of trustee meetings are live. Nobody quite knows what this board of trustee meeting is called for, but every time they've called one that's like there was one in August that's supposed to be happening. Every time they have called one of these different things, it has set the world on fire. And literally they called a meeting and then the ACC sued them. That's why we're in the situation that we're in right now is because of board of trustee meetings. But it will be at the August B. Turnbull Conference Center, 555 West Pensacola Street, Tallahassee, Florida, 32306, room 103, 9 a.m. And it should be broadcast live. It should be, and more than likely will be streamed right here on Den Media Group for you guys to be able to listen to. Florida State also got on the board again. with a commitment from a guy from down south, Max Redman. I believe he goes to Cardinal. I think it's Cardinal Gibbons, but he is a safety. Tribe 2025, 3-star prospect, 6'2", 190 pounds. Very athletic, averages 110 plays a game in high school. What is it? Also plays basketball, pretty good hooper. Be interested to see what happens when he gets to college when he only has to focus on one side of the ball. Ironically, I don't question Pat Surtain and who he recruits. Good for him. But that does give us 2 DBs right now in this cycle, with us still in the mix for 3 more in Clarity, Snowfall, and Jabori, which I do believe Clarity and Jabori will probably go elsewhere, and I do believe Florida State will get Snowfall. But I do think at the end of the season, when it's all said and done, we will get 4 prospects. Per Logan's Twitty, who's over No Game Day, he has DB Ricky Knight, who's talking about FSU's wide receiver room, giving people a perspective of what it's like going up against these guys.
During the summer workouts from the other side of the ball in the wide receiver room, and we're about to talk with them, but also Elijah Moore. What have you seen from a handful of those guys?
With our receiver room, we have speed. Let's just put that out there. Like, I want everybody to know we truly have speed. Those guys are running. We definitely have some great guys in the room. A lot of our guys can run a lot of routes. They got great hands. Elijah Moore is definitely going to be great for us this year. I feel like he's going to make a good impact for us this year and for the years coming. We also got a lot of freshman receivers that's going to make a pretty good impact. Like, I feel like Dwayne McCoy is also definitely going to have a good impact for us. Malik Benson is definitely going to have a good impact. A sleeper that I don't think most people think about, I feel like Deuce Spann and Keytron Portier is definitely going to be big for us. Jalen Brown, of course, we got definitely guys on top of guys on top of guys. So at the receiver room, I don't feel like a lot of people think that's our weakness. I don't know why. If y'all look at our receiver room, we really have some guys. Zakai Douglas, we got Jalen Lucas who can play receiver. So like it goes on and on and on. So I think that's definitely going to be like a sleeper this year, and a lot of people are going to be, awakened when they come out on the
field. 2 of those guys, FSU fans are kind of just, okay, they do something great. And that's Deuce and Portier. But I think Portier has just been battling health issues. And Deuce you can't just throw away a guy like that. Like, tall, fast. It's got to eventually come together, or it won't. But he didn't bring up Keem. Elijah Moore is the guy who we have up next right now. If you go to the next video, he's a guy that does have great body control that a lot of people are excited about from a Florida State perspective. Really, when it comes down to Florida State, a lot of these guys you just haven't heard about yet. So hopefully they'll make a name for themselves. So if you got that next link up.
With any of the corners and the DBs, and what's that been like? Do they challenge you as a freshman, or kind of what's that been like?
Yeah, so they always, when my first day came in, they were kind of nice guys to me, saying make sure I know how to do everything, but I made sure to let them know, like, look, I was like, I'm coming in with the mindset I want to play my first year. So when we in practice, I don't need everything from you guys. Like, I talked to AZ, I talked to C2, like I told them guys, like, I need you guys to push me, like, because I want to dominate these other cornerbacks that we go against in the ACC and the SEC. So it's fun playing with them. I like being pushed. It brings the best out of me. So, like, I embrace that. It's like just now where I was coming from, we did a little bit of releases after weight training. We get releases here and there. We go with DJ, we go throw. Cornerbacks might be out there. We get a little bit of one-on-ones, a little bit of soft reps. It's really good for me. I think it's going to help me push me for the season.
Up with any of the corners of the
ready to see what he's able to do. Be good. We'll get more stuff as ACC Media Days come around and they're getting ready for practices, and we go over there and do some stuff. Hopefully, we'll get a lot of these guys at our book bag drive and our not fan day, but our football camp. Get some exclusive media there. Going into one conference that is having their media days, and it's been fun. It looks like a lot of quotes have been coming out of this, but the Big 12 is having their media days. And a lot of things that are being said, typically coaches tell you not to talk like, but I guess their coaches just threw caution to the wind and just said, fuck this shit. So this is what we're going to go through some of the notable things in the Big 12 media days. And I apologize that they just say the best stuff at one school. So they're going to be talked about that. Dave Aranda on what's prompted Baylor's recent run of recruiting success. And he said it point blank. We're paying players. Like, that's why we're better, because we're paying players. And I'm like, yeah, it's okay. Say the quiet things out loud. They got Shedeur Sanders. And Shedeur Sanders made a very bold statement. And this is, again, I kid you not, nobody hates this kid. Nobody just woke up one day and hated these guys. What Americans hate, and this is why, again, Miami fans get caught in this, and a lot of people are like, who's more delusional, Miami or Colorado fans? And I am here to your defense, Miami fans. It is Colorado fans by a long way. But here's what Shedeur Sanders has to say about people and how they feel about Colorado.
In terms of him operating with a certain obligation, does that sort of flow over to you as his son and being in the spotlight, as you just answered, that it's a different level in how you feel you have to perform? Do you have an obligation to perform at a different level?
It's been that since day one. I remember first media day when I was in HBCU, I said, well, we won't lose a game. I'm undefeated in the SWAC, so I already know what the expectation comes with. I know we're everybody's Super Bowl, so I'm really just I always stay level-headed, stay grounded, because I would never want to be that guy, look back, and not being able to take advantage of the moment that we have right now.
In terms of him operating with...
That was it? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. They didn't put that. So he didn't say did he say where everybody's Super Bowl?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I didn't catch that, but
yeah, that part I was like, what? You gotta win 4 games? You can't be anybody's Super Bowl.
That's the point. Like, why are you hating on it? What? I had a young man tell me that today. Coach, you always hating. On what? What do I possibly have to hate about you, son? You have done absolutely nothing in life yet. Like, you have potential, and I think you'll be good. But I said, can you specify what I would hate on him about? I mean, now you can say I dislike Shedeur, which I don't. I think Shadeur's a handsome young man. I think he's immensely talented, and he's rich. Those are 3 things. And his dad is one of the greatest football players of all time. Those are amazing things to do. That being said, you won 4 games, champ. One was against a TCU team that went 5-7 after losing everybody. You hung on for dear life against Colorado State. You should have lost that game. You lost to Stanford. And I'm missing somebody. Who they beat somebody? Was it Arizona they beat? I don't know. TCU was the first. TCU. Oh, they beat Nebraska with Jeff Sims, who had the yips. Jeff Sims forgot how to throw. If Nebraska had a quarterback that could throw the ball forward, you would have lost that game. And you played into, not you per se, Shedeur, but Colorado played into the most, which is it's a serious thing that is in this country still. But because so many people use the race thing, it waters down when there actually really is race shit that we can use it for. Y'all just want to see a black man lose. And then they say that shit to black men who literally, like in my comments, go look at some of my Deion stuff, even if it's positive. You just want to see the black man get down. No, I always say I want Deion to win because I know what it means if he doesn't for other black head coaches. But you went 4-8 and you talked a lot. And then when one guy said, y'all do it for clicks, we do it for titles or some shit like that. And he beat the fuck out of you. Like Dan Lanning, literally, like that could have been considered like a not race. What do you call it when they could have been a hate crime. What Dan Lanning did to you guys. I'm legitimately think they should investigate that because he beat the fuck out of you unmercifully, and he called the dogs off. Like that's the most embarrassing. But people don't realize the most embarrassing thing isn't when you're getting like beat unmercifully. It's when they pull out all of their best players and you know they can still beat you if they wanted to. Like I've heard people who aren't in this violent game say shit like, why don't you just take a knee? Like, that's the worst. Like, when you're up, like, no, like, not what Miami should have done. You take a knee for that. Take your ball and go home. But, like, let's say you're just driving down. You're just like, okay, well, we could score. Just take a knee right now. Don't score. That's not making me feel better. That makes me feel worse. Now you're playing with me. Super Bowl. And when everybody beats the fuck out of you and now and clowns you, they're gonna go right back to this quote.
Right.
Let's go to the next things. But again, the best quotes come from I'm gonna get to the best quotes, but right now the better quotes are coming from these guys. Again, this is a great question right here, asked by a guy who's built like a pit bull. I was trying to remember his name, but go ahead. Let's listen to what this guy has to say.
Do you feel an obligation with whom you are to perform at a higher level or coach at a higher level?
Yeah, like yes, I'm judged on a different scale. My wins are totally different than your wins. Your wins, you just judge in football. That's why I have to start out and give you education and academics and so forth. I have to give you those things so you understand there's a greater scope. I can't win 9 games and our GPA suffers. Our GPA can't be high, but we lose another 8 games. We can't not go and grab high school players and you got a bunch of guys in the portal, out of the portal that's getting incarcerated. My wins are different. We have to win in every area. That's the way we're judged. And I'm cool with that because we come a little different.
Do you feel an
You have to win. We don't know if your wins are different. You have to win. That's the problem. Deion, you just said a bunch of nothing. Like, yes, they don't want you to go under the team GPA to be 2.0. But I promise you this: if your team GPA is 2.0 and you're in the college football playoff, your president's going to probably be okay with that. To quote Willie Simmons in regards to Willie Taggart getting fired in the APR, nobody cares about APR when you're winning. And you just talked about things that, again, like you talked about things like winning that you haven't done yet, but then you talked about high school recruiting, which you really haven't done yet. If all the guys in the portal are going to jail, like, bro, we don't want that for you. First and foremost, we know that's not what any coach wants. No coach wants everybody being incarcerated. Like, bro, like you, man, that was worse than some Trump Biden debate shit. Like you just pulled some shit out your ass, dog. Like, bitch, what we want you to do is win 8 games. Like we want you to compete for playoffs. We want you to do, like, your winning is not different than anybody else's winning. Like it's only like if you like, yes, if you, again, remember I was just talking about, like, you want to put, if you just say it, just go ahead and say, as a black man, I have to win in every aspect. I would respect that more than that bullshit ass answer that you just gave, Deion. Like, no, Deion, we just want you to win, Deion. That's literally it. I'm sorry. But the problem is, it's not just this, it's the other shit that comes with it. And I think it's the next link, Miles, 'cause this is the entrance and how Deion entered the Big 12 media days. Like, this is why, if you could just be, like, now that's more of that's just a meme of Rhonda saying the loud thing out. This. Here is why you have to do things differently, Deion, because your persona forces you to do it. And if you could, like, just be you, but like with a chaser, it would be blessed. But this is how he entered Big 12 media days.
Just a little impressed. No, I don't stress, cause you know I'm staying blessed. I'm coming, baby. I'm not to you like me. The lights don't lie. See, I'm used to the fame. Crime, been crime, I'm up on my time. 7 figure hit, I'm way back since 89. It ain't been good to me, the hood been good to me. God been good to me.
Second 7-figure hit way back since 89. This is wild.
That's it. That's it.
Like, also unnecessary, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to be the star.
It's also unnecessary, but it's also Dion. And the problem is, we accept this from Dion, and he missed media day last year because he had to get, he had to get his toes done. But here's what I will say: when people are characters, but they win, and they haven't won anything big or anything that matters. But Mike Gundy is. I'm going to finally be able to use one of his famous viral moments. Is I'm a man. I'm 40. I've been waiting for so long to be able to use this. But Mike Gundy has 10-win seasons. He's had seasons where he's done well enough. He's beat his rival before. He's just outright who he is, and he's unapologetic for it. And he is an American. I'm going to be like, when you do this and it's not, doesn't feel like it's fabricated or like a facade, people fuck with you. And like, we're just going to like, just go ahead and you just click the links because this is legitimately, again, what Mike Gundy is. And I love it. I couldn't play for him. I could send my son to him, but I damn sure am entertained by him. Now, for those while Miles is getting this done, I want you to know who he's talking about. He's talking about Mike Ollie, who was the number 90, who was 96 overall in the video game, one of the top players in NCAA running back. And Mike Ollie, we joked about on the show that he's hitting the transfer portal to go to the University of Georgia because he got charged with a DUI. He was drinking a lot and driving very fast. But let's listen to Mike Gundy talk about all of this shit.
So I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit? Like in Oklahoma is 0.08, and Ollie was 0.1. So I looked it up, and it was based on body weight. Not to get into the legal side of it, but I thought really 2 or 3 beers or 4. I'm not justifying what Ollie did. I'm telling you what decision I made. Well, I thought I've probably done that 1,000 times in my life. And I, it's just fine. So I got lucky. People get lucky. Ollie made a decision that he wished he could have done better. But when I talked to Ollie, I told him, I said, you're lucky you got out light because you make a lot of money to play football. So I looked it up on my phone. What would be the legal limit?
Again, Ollie got arrested for DUI, driving fast and very reckless, where we just saw 3 young men in Baltimore do that exact same thing. And they didn't do it, but somebody else did it and they killed somebody. We've seen this in Georgia where somebody was murdered. But what we just witnessed was a head coach take all the attention off of the kid and put it on him.
Yeah, that's true.
And say, I've done 3-4 beers. I've done that 1,000 times. And just say, but that's not it. And we love this because he's telling the fucking truth. I think this is the audio that we really want.
We're in a time where you guys are essentially employees. You guys make lots of money to play this game. It's different than it was 5 years ago. And your punishment's going to be facing the facts. That's why we brought him here today. I said, you're not going into hiding. You're going to face the music. You're going to have to stand up and talk to people and answer questions. And hopefully, more than football, you can learn from the situation you've been in. Because if not, then we have a real issue. But he's going to play. And I'm going to do what we think is best for Oklahoma State football. And I think it's best for Ollie to play. If there's any punishment, it's make him carry the ball 50 times in the first game.
We're in a time where you guys are essentially employees.
That was
You
the
guys make lots of money to play
truth,
this game. It's different than a baseball
unadulterated. It
business.
wasn't no
And
trying to say black men are treated worse than people and are picked on. Like Deion's going, like, you got to be too. Nah, he's like, nah, that motherfucker can ball, and my mortgage is paid by Ali. And if anything, I'm gonna make Ali run the ball way more than Ali, who was a big time leading rusher already. We're gonna make Ali gonna. And if you notice, he keeps it. We paying these boys. I'm gonna get my money's worth out of Ali. You goddamn right. Can't get my NIL money back. I'm gonna make him go. No, that man said. I was shocked that he said, well, I was looking at the legal drinking limit in Oklahoma and it's 0.8. Ali was a 1. We get 2% better every day. Like something like that. That would have been cold. Like, that would have been great. He was only 2. He was 0.2 over. Come on, man.
That's what it seemed.
He's just 0.2 better than everybody else. That's it.
You can't beat that, huh?
Eric, it is kind of the same way that Bobby talked about Seabass, but not as bad as this, man. What's the punishment going to be? Well, we're going to do what's best for Oklahoma football. And what's best for Oklahoma football, and if if anything, his punishment is going to be to run the ball. We get 85 snaps a game, so we'll give him over 50% of the snaps. How about that? That was, but actually, there's another clip that we have of what Mike Gundy was like back in his day when he was when he was drinking 1,000 times. Like, that's just not what a leader is supposed to say, guys. Like, I did this 1,000 times, man. Oh no, actually play this. This is oh no, you can whatever. You got it up now, but we can play that. Mike Gundy basically saying. This was him during his day. This is Mike Gundy at Big 12 Media Days talking about 3 to 4 beer shit. Yeah, I had 10 right before I did this.
Any attempt to restrict drinking and driving here is viewed by some as downright undemocratic.
It's kind of getting common is when a fella can't put in a hard day's work, put in 11, 12 hours a day, and then get in your truck and at least drink 1 or 2 beers.
They're making it laws where you can't drink when you want to. You have to wear a seatbelt when you're driving. And pretty soon we're going to be communist country.
Any attempt to restrict drinking and driving.
I want to push pause real quick. So I want people to realize this, right? So again, this isn't fake. This is legitimately people being mad that they're no longer letting you drink and drive. And remember, there was a time when seatbelts were not mandatory. Like, they saw the dark, they seen the carnage, but they did not care. So, like, when you hear people argue about common sense shit, like, this is what you sound like, just so you know. Like we're so used to it now, but when they're making laws to save your life, this is what the common next thing, no more drinking. They make us wear our seatbelts, and now we're being communist country in a little bit. But I mean, very bigly. But you can't tell me that guy was not spitting from the Mike Gundy Bible. Let's play this one more time so that y'all can hear these bars. And this would have been the perfect defense for Ali.
To restrict drinking and driving here is viewed by some as downright undemocratic.
It's kind of getting common is when a fella can't put in a hard day's work, put in 11, 12 hours a day, and then get in your truck and at least drink 1 or 2 beers.
They're making it laws where you can't.
Did he say it's getting kind of communist?
That's what they thought.
There's no way. No. God, that's just throw. Is this what people have always done? Is just throw term, like just throw a term that doesn't mean what they think it means.
Yeah.
It's kind of getting common is when a fella can't put in a hard day's work.
Getting common is
put in a hard day's work, put in 11, 12 hours a day. It's kind of getting common is when a fella can't put in a hard day's work, put in 11, 12 hours a day, and then get in your truck and at least drink 1 or 2 beers.
They're making laws where you can't drink when you want to. You have to wear a seatbelt when you're driving. And pretty soon we're going to become this country.
Any
Baby
attempt.
was reaching for the beer. The lady was mad that she couldn't drink a beer with the baby in the front seat. It's 3 to 4 beers get you to point A to Oklahoma, and that man says kind of common is when you can't get off 11 hard days of work, 11, 12-hour shift. You can't drink half of the legal, can't get half of the legal limit drunk. Oh man, it's getting kind of communist is a great term. But all in all, let's listen to Carl Reed and his discussions about why nobody gives a fuck about your opinion about Ali, and Mike Gundy's right.
I have much respect for Mike Gundy for telling the truth.
Pause. Goddamn it, Carl. I'm starting to like you because you're in a group chat, but you just come on, man. We can like him. You ain't got to. We throw that much respect shit around way too much. I can like you and not have not respect. Like Mike Gundy is a fucking. He's I'm trying to think. He's Chris Rock's PE coach. Like that's where I get when I say running blacks, I get it from everybody hates Chris. Because Chris had to do this, like he's like, I thought you didn't like black people. That's my running back. He's good. I need you to go do his work for him. He said, you mean running back? Yeah, that's what I said. He's running black. My running black is black. Like but anyways, go ahead. Play Carl.
You gotta win in football. The stakes are too high. It's too much money on the table. And sometimes you have to play guys who might have situations that the average person would frown at, but you have to win. And Mike Gundy said that today about his star running back. He's got to put him out there and he's got to give him the ball. Because if you don't win, man, everybody's coming after you. Your game has to be bigger than your problems. And Mike Gundy just told you that his guy's game is bigger than his problems. Now, if you're not a baller, and you get a DUI or get yourself in trouble, you could have problems. So, make your decisions accordingly.
Coach Reed is 100% right. He got that good whistle in it. He's like, he had that. He got a. That was just. I want to pick on it too much. Carl, you got to swallow when you talking, bro. You got a lot of spitting out. Like it was the shh. But somebody comes in there and talks about a coach that he lost all respect for because they played somebody after they got arrested or something like that. And Carl Reed put one of the coldest bars that I've heard. Your respect don't pay his mortgage. Just remember that. Your respect don't pay nobody's bills. Like you just like at the end of the day, America loves a winner. And you are a product of what you're able to produce, and Ali is really good. Ali, I made a joke about Keon Coleman when we played Pitt, and people were trying to make like these things that he got in trouble, and I jokingly said, Keon Coleman could murder somebody and be a suspect. Until he goes to trial, his ass is playing. Like that he is that good. Ali literally just showed you. Again, if you don't believe it, believe this. Be so good that they can't deny you. Or be so good that you affect everything around you. Once you understand that, once you have done that, you will understand LeBron James. You will understand Arch Manning. You will understand Ali Gordon and Mike Gundy. But the problem is too many of us aren't even the best version of us inside of our own heads. We can't even accept who we are to even be great enough for other people to accept who we are. So on that note, I appreciate you guys for chopping me up with me on this late night. All you cats on Twitter, I love and hate you because you could literally just open up YouTube and you could have literally just changed the whole trajectory of this show. But you choose not to. So whatever. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. Not getting into it. We'll see you guys on Friday morning, more than likely. And on that note, appreciate y'all for chopping it up with me. See y'all next time.